It is early morning on June 16. It's about 7:20. I always wake up at like 6:30 for some reason here. But anyway, I think the big news is that I just got approved to go back to United Arab Emirates. Josh got approved the day before yesterday. Obviously we were really happy, but it was very stressful because I wasn't approved yet. And he didn't want to go back without me because obviously of the quarantine rules, and then I had to quarantine if I would go later in a hotel, which would have been a faff. But I got approved now as well before the first flight would fly out, so we can actually go back together, and I'm really happy. Next steps are obviously booking our flights, and I'm going back, which will probably be the 20th or the 21st, hopefully, fingers crossed. And once in Dubai we'll have to do a 14-day quarantine. We'll have to do a home quarantine, which is actually quite good. And then we'll have to get our stuff together, pack our stuff, buy some things, and then pray, hope, please, 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 that Nepal opens borders so we can easily move to Nepal. Happy you're going?
Feels surreal. I won't believe it till we're on the plane. My room.
Bye. Bye, number 5.
Yeah, we know all the people at 503.
After 3 months.
Did you pick up masks?
Yeah. Okay, let's wait. Let's just wait somewhere here.
Please pay.
Oh yeah. Okay, we are just paying and checking out for the very last time here. After 3 months, finally we're leaving, and it just feels not real. I think it'll only feel real once we're like touched down and at immigration in Dubai. But like, it's going to be such a shock as well, because we literally, like, I think we've left the hotel once, like last week. But after that, like before that, we've just been inside for 3 months, sorry, and everything just feels like mushed together in one big day because nothing happened. It's gonna be very weird being back home. We are through immigration, and we're basically just waiting for our plane. This is currently what the airport looks like. I'm incredibly thirsty, but everything is closed. It was one of the weirder experiences, to be fair. So before we got to the airport, there was a stop we had to do by the army, where basically this military guy checked our boarding pass and our passport and the permit of the Uber driver. He waved us through, and then when he dropped us off, sorry, I'm just so thirsty, and there's like no water here except for like drinking fountains, which I'm not very happy to use because there's like, you know, what, like pandemic going on. And then there was a man who basically sprayed our hands, sprayed our luggage, sprayed the soles of our feet. We then proceeded to go to the entrance, and at the entrance our boarding passes and our passport got checked. We got through, then we had to put all our luggage through like scanners. Okay, then we had to go to like a waiting hall before we could go to check-in. In that waiting hall there was like about maybe like 30 people, and I think they were like, I'm pretty sure they were all for the Emirates flight that we're gonna be on. And then after that, I think like we were sitting there for like 20 minutes maybe, and then we got called to, sorry, I'm just looking at the cars going past. Then our flight got called and we could go through another massive scanner before we reached check-in. And then check-in, they checked our passport, their boarding pass, and because we're going to Dubai, they also checked whether or not we have approval to go back. Now we were very lucky because this is a very, 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 very first flight out of Sri Lanka back to Dubai, and I don't think there were many people that were approved. But everything was like checked really hard, really like double check, blah. And then we were, that took like maybe like 10 minutes, and it was really stressful because this guy like kept walking off with his passports, kept asking people things about our passports, and I was like, oh my god, are just like, oh, your approval, I'm sorry, but it was a mistake, you can't go to Dubai, your approval has been revoked or something like that, because that would just be our luck, you know. Anyway, after like a good 10 minutes we got our passports back and our bags got checked. Like in total we had like 20 kilos of luggage. That's how little luggage we have with us. God, so much happened. And then we went to then we obviously had to go to immigration, and because we overstayed there were visa fees to pay. Now we didn't have to pay a fine, those were waived, but we still had to pay the visa fees. So we went up to the first booth, and you know, the guy was really friendly and everything, and then he made us wait for another like 10 minutes, just because I think we were one of the first people who actually had to pay the fine. And you know, it can be quite, I don't know, like, but probably they should have been doing this like quite a lot over the past few weeks. Anyway, yeah, so we had to wait for 10 minutes, and then the supervisor would call us in, and then we had to go to like this really weird like 70s looking office of the immigration offices, where a few other non-Sri Lankan people were waiting. I think they were from like all over, like there was a woman from Croatia, there was a man from somewhere in Africa. Obviously we are all going back to Dubai. And then depending on how on your passport, you had to pay the visa fees. Now for instance, Josh, because he's British, had to pay like $54, and me, because I'm from the better country, I had to pay $20. But yeah, that took about 45 minutes from getting to that weird office to, you know, the guy making small talk with you, which is really weird because I'm like, please don't arrest me, please don't arrest me, I'm gonna be really friendly to you. But he was really nice. To, you know, Josh having to go like to the other side of the airport to pay by card. And yeah, now we're here. We are in departures. We can go to our gate, but there's nothing there. I'm really thirsty. Nothing is open, like as you can see. We went to the duty free, and in the duty free you can obviously like buy alcohol, but I'm not that thirsty that I can just drink like a whole bottle of vodka. Like, we're going to Dubai, I can't do that. If I was going to Belgium, maybe, but not if I'm going to Dubai. But I am really thirsty. I'm also really sweaty because like Josh and I, we travel a lot, but this has been one of the weirdest experiences of my life, and I'm really happy that Sri Lanka is taking all the precautions. Like, to be fair, I have been thoroughly impressed by how Sri Lanka is handling the pandemic, and I honestly cannot imagine a safer country to have spent the last 3 months in, because if we had gone back to the UK or Belgium, we definitely would have gotten COVID. So yeah, thumbs up Sri Lanka. It's about 2.5 hours before we can board, before we can get to our flights. Oh god, I really want to have like a cold Coke or something. How do you find it, Josh?
It's alright. Just looking forward to being on the plane.
Looking forward to being home.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you're gonna eat when you're in Dubai?
Don't know. I want some shawarma.
Spicy or
Oh, just any zinger
a Zinka burger?
or zinka wrap.
Oh my god, yeah.
Classic Dubai.
Or pani puri. Or masala dosa.
Pani
Per masala dosa.
Pani puri isn't as nice if you can't go and stand
Yeah, but I think we can go and stand next to the one.
the window
Yeah.
within the next 2 weeks.
No, after the 2 weeks.
Yeah. Just not tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so I made the big mistake of putting my GoPro into my backpack. So I'm just gonna have to do it with my phone. Anyway, we just got a travel hygiene kit. Josh, what's in it?
Face mask, which I'm probably going to use because mine's super uncomfortable.
Yeah, might as well.
I think that I read about it. I think there's some hand sanitizer. There's quite a lot of stuff in it. There's
Gloves?
gloves, which we might need. I don't know.
Yeah, once we're in Dubai, I think.
Hand sanitizer,
Yeah.
more hand sanitizer, an advanced hand sanitizer, 3 of them. Yeah. So various types of hand sanitizing.
Okay, so this is basically mine. So there is these are face masks too, and then these are gloves. I think 2 pair, and then the rest is all hand sanitizer. So, like it's a really good kit to be fair. Like, we got our face masks. I'll just do it around. So we got our face masks from Daraz. They're really uncomfortable. Josh already put on his new one, so I might just do the same.